All right, here we go. 2023 draft recap video. I'm gonna give this a try. It's fresh in my mind. I've got the whole draft board up in front of me. I'm gonna be looking all over the screen, so prepare yourselves for that. Um, I'll do draft order. Start with 1, end with 14. So Andrew, Travis, Angelo, Jordan, and so on down the line. I'll just go by team names. I don't think I'll do 1 through 14 rankings. I'll probably just give a quick letter grade, and then I'll pick a player I like and a player I don't like, and probably just have some general commentary for each team. So, start first. Andrew. Started off with McCaffrey. I mean, can't complain about that. Looking through, you know, I'm gonna go B plus, B plus. That's only because of Garrett Wilson. Well, I mean, I don't like Mixon in that second round. So if I'm gonna say what do I love with this team, I'm not gonna say I love any keepers. That's not fun. My love would be the Musgrave pick in the 17th. I think that's interesting value, and I would say the risk at Jonathan Taylor at 5. I actually like that a lot. What do I hate? Like I said, I don't like that Mixon pick at all. There's so much going on with him. Like your second round pick could go up in flames immediately. So don't like that. The quarterback situation's fine. Wide receiver situation's really pretty good. So that'd be my take for that team. On to number 2 here. Travis, getting good value really with Jefferson at the second spot. I think the quarterback thing is interesting. You got 2. I don't know why you picked 2 tight ends. But letter grade here, I'm probably definitely a B. I don't like the Aaron Jones pick, so solid B here for me. What do I love here? I can't say the Jefferson thing. I like the Laporta pick a lot in the 8th. I've heard a lot of things from the Lions news. He's going to be a stud. So not necessarily loving that you picked 2 tight ends, but do like that pick. And on my hate would be, I think, the Aaron Jones thing. I know maybe with a younger quarterback, they're going to run the ball more, but he's getting up there in age, and his usage has been pretty high. And there's not a ton of running backs behind him. Maybe Brian Robinson is that second one for you, but nobody has a bunch of running backs anyway. So, I think B here. On Angelo, looking through this one, and I'm really looking through a lot of these at a first glance here. So, you got a 28-year-old running back in the first round who's been really good, but how much longer does he hold up? And after that, there's nothing around. I like the Evan Ingram pick. Obviously, Hurts in the 4th is good. You did a lot of receiver early, but I don't know if I like any of them. So I think B minus here. So if I'm gonna say something I love the Evan Ingram in the 7th. They used him a ton last year. I was looking to kind of get him around on one of the swings if I could, and it never materialized for me. So I like that pick a lot. Hate is that Drake London in the 2nd. Do we know if Desmond Ridder is a good quarterback? I have no idea. I don't think he is that great. You need somebody to throw him the ball, even if he is the number 1 receiver there now. So that'd be my hate there. Probably another B for me though. It's a B. I don't want to give out too many C's, but there might be a C coming up for this next one. So up next, Jordan with interesting things here. He started with Chubb, and I'm gonna go right now and say out on a limb, this team to me is a C plus. The Chubb thing is fine, but he's like 27. Is he 28 now? I mean, I don't want to wish injury upon anybody, but like this dude's had a ton of carries. It's getting to the point where maybe he's due to miss some time. I know they lost Kareem Hunt, but somebody else is still going to take some run from him. So I mean, it's a risk, but you kind of have to take it. If I'm going to jump into my love-hate thing here, what do I hate with this team? It's Keenan Allen in the 2nd round. Keenan Allen is old. They drafted another rookie wide receiver. Yeah, no, they've got two guys that can compete with him for targets. I know they throw the ball a lot, but there's a lot of target competition there. But I guess I shouldn't have said that. My hate is Najee Harris. I think Jordan picks Najee Harris every year, and I don't think he's ever been that good. So it's my hate. I gotta find a love in here somewhere. Ooh, give me Tank Dell in the 15th. I like the value there. Young guy can separate a little bit, I think. We'll see who the receiver that emerges. I think if he is the one that emerges, you get good value with a young quarterback throwing him the ball and a team that'll be behind a lot to score some points late. So C+. I don't like this team. Chubb's fine. There's some injury risk there in my opinion, but 2, 3, 4, like Kittle's always hurt. Najee Harris is never good, and Keenan Allen is old. I don't like any of those. Clint up next. So we got Kelce to start, into Ramondre, all the way down through interesting quarterbacks. I'm going to go B here. Kelce gives you a ton of value at tight end. Obviously, that's a stud role there. I mean, he's going to have a lot of position differential over everybody else. Was looking at some stats just a couple minutes ago. You know, Hawkinson's the only one close with last year to have that like same level of target production throughout the year for a full season. So, you know, no one's close there from target perspective. It feels early for Ramondre Stevenson. I know that's probably where you have to pick him, but I don't know. The Patriots running backs, I had Ramondre last year. He's good, but gosh, it still feels early for a Patriots running back. I made the comment during the draft with the Mike Evans thing. Who's throwing him the ball? How's Baker doing? I don't know. So, you know, it's a B. It's a B. I like my love it here would be Richardson in the 8th. I think that's fun. A lot of upside there, and you know, you kind of curtailed that with Daniel Jones there, one round below, and have a solid guy who can play if Richardson sucks. But you know, if Richardson can be a Jalen Hurts light, Lamar Jackson light, I think you're doing well here with that value, and you know, gonna do pretty well. Where's my hate here? You know, I like a lot of things here. It's got to be Ramondre Stevenson and that Mike Evans. Those two. I don't like those. I think you're taking some risks on some really uncertain situations, and you're still so early in the draft. I wonder if you could find some more certainty with either one of those positions. So that'd be my thing there. Moving on to Montgomery here. Starting off with Bijan into a couple good receivers. This is a good draft. I like this team. I like this team a lot. I like his teams every year. A- for me. And that's with the caveat that Bijan's good, but this is where his ADP is, so it makes a lot of sense. A- team here for me. I like the Kirk value in the 7th. It's maybe a round or two early for him, but he's, probably going to throw for 4,000 yards this year. I talked about it during the draft, but like the Swift thing, I think there's a lot of upside there. He's a talented running back who's now with a team that's going to run the ball. So if he can, get a good target or get a good carry share and kind of good touches there, I think he can do well. So I'm going to go A- here. Like this team, good value with Njoku, and then some good runs on some cheap running backs at the end there. So what do I love? This is a B+, not an A-. This is a B+. I love that Swift pick. I think Swift's good. And then Kenneth Walker right ahead of him. Like, the running backs here are deep, in my opinion. Even if Kenneth Walker loses some carries to Charbonnet, I think the running backs here are deep, so I'll love that. What's my hate? Probably taking Kadarius Toney in the 8th when you could have had somebody a little more steady. Toney's sort of boomer bust. You're going to get 25 one week and you're not going to get anything the next, and I don't like those kind of guys. So I think there's some steadier guys that you could have found or taken some shots at, some running backs who could provide value or be a handcuff for you versus the Toney spot there. So that's what I'm thinking there. Bart's bottom feeders up next. I made the comment during the draft. It was funny. 4 of the first 6 were Vikings or ex-Vikings, so I thought that was fun. I'm going to shift things over to the right here. I like this team, actually, really do. I'd call it a couple things. I think the Hawkinson pick is interesting. Like I just read a stat as I was kind of talking about earlier. Hawkinson's like projected targets for a full season were on par with Travis Kelce. If he had been with the Vikings all last year, that's a big deal. He got red zone targets. He got third down targets first. He got targets all over the place. And so if they can keep that going, he's, extended. He's going to be in Minnesota and he's healthy. So it's interesting. I like the Pickens pick. I like the Sutton pick here too. So with this one, I'm gonna go B plus, A minus probably. I'm gonna go A minus. I like this team. My love here would be that Pickens in the fourth. I think Pickens and Pickett together. I think he's gonna be the number one in Pittsburgh, and they've shown in the past when they have a number one, they'll throw him the ball. So he brings more to the offense than Deontay Johnson. From a touchdown perspective, yardage perspective, Deontay Johnson would have those targets and those receptions, but Pickens brings more of a downfield threat, I think. My hate here, Sutton would be my honorable mention for them. I love it. He's going to get a lot of targets out there, I think. What do I hate about this team? This is it here. So I don't hate the Purdy pick. I don't understand picking Purdy in the 10th when you already have Lawrence kept. I think you could have gotten Purdy a little bit later and maybe gotten a handcuff running back or something else like that in that spot and shifted some things around. So that's my thought there. I like that team. I have A minus on it. Cole up next. Started out A.J. Brown into Jahmyr Gibbs. There's some commentary probably there. Herbert, Madison, and on down the line here. Looking through, we got two starters. I like this team. There's a B plus there. Good value with Herbert in the third. If things progress well, that's a top 5 quarterback. Exactly what you want to get at that spot, with a little bit more upside to be like top 2, top 3 probably, just with the way he throws it. A.J. Brown's good value. You got to take him there. Jahmyr Gibbs is interesting. I know that the target thing, the Alvin Kamara comparisons are out there. We'll see if that's true. It's a steal. If it's not, it's a reach. Madison in the fourth is about right. It's good value. So jump into my love it, hate it here. Did I say A minus or B plus for this team? I can't remember. I like this team. I like Cole's team. I think A minus, B plus, somewhere in there. But my love it, I'd say I love that Herbert in the third, or that Jaylen Warren in the ninth. I think Warren's going to get a lot of the touches in place of Najee Harris, whether that's injury or just kind of supplanting him. And my hate here has got to be Tyler Lockett, Jameson Williams. You can see I picked right after this Jackson Smith-Njigba. I think Lockett's on the downturn. I'm going to click here and see. Yeah, Lockett's 30. I think he's on the way down. He's going to move into a number 3 role, and Smith-Njigba will move in and take a lot of that production that Lockett had. And then Jameson Williams, it's the gambler, man. He's already missed the whole season, almost whole season last year, 6 games this year. Is he ever going to play? We'll see. We're 13 minutes in, so I'm making good time. My team's up next. Looking through here, it's probably a B, maybe B plus. I think I did fine at receiver. Need Christian Watson and Smith-Njigba to probably be good early in their career. CeeDee Lamb is CeeDee Lamb. He's a top 7 guy, probably top 7 guy. Lamar's probably a risk here. Banking on him getting paid and doing some new things in his new offense. The Dameon Pierce thing is probably a projection, but he was good last year, so let's hope he keeps it up. Rolling down through there. What do I love about my team? Not a ton. I like a few things. I think that Tank Bigsby thing in the 8th. I like that. ETN's got a lot of injury risk historically, and everything, all the buzz out of camp on Bigsby is that he's good. And so if there's any injury with ETN, I think Bigsby takes over in a good offense and has a large share of the touches there. What do I hate about my team? Probably, yeah, people were asking me about it at that time. Probably Elijah Moore in the 7th. I don't know what I was thinking. I could have got somebody probably a little better. Probably not from a wide receiver perspective, but I probably could have got a better running back or something, but I wanted to go receiver. He's young, has a lot of upside in a new system with a quarterback who was good at one time, so maybe he turns out, but that's probably my hate. So, B, maybe up to B+, but not my best work in my head. All right, Olton's team's up next. Started off with Barkley, get Tyreek Hill, Hopkins. Okay. This is a B. Yeah, this is a B. A couple things that stick out. Obviously, Tyreek Hill, the cream of the crop here, and I'm an anti-Saquon Barkley person, so hold that against me here. DeAndre Hopkins, don't like it. He's old, and he's with the Titans. Receivers go to die in Tennessee, in my opinion. Chris Godwin, I know there was some commentary when we were talking during the draft that people like him. I think he's hurt all the time. Feels like this dude tears his ACL every other year or does something to his knee. So my love it for this team, Goff. I like that Goff in the 11th. I like that pick. I think if, Goff and Jordan Love, that's an emotional hedge, as I mentioned, the Jordan Love thing. But Jared Goff in the 11th, put up good numbers. You don't get any rushing production here, but you get a guy who's in an offense that's wide open and they score some points. So, you think about their two biggest rushing threats from a year ago are gone. Obviously, David Montgomery's there, but, what's going to happen inside the red zone? Are they going to start throwing it more? And that, can jump those touchdown totals up for Goff. So I think there's a ceiling there. My hate is the DeAndre Hopkins-Chris Godwin combo there. I think they're both old. And like I said, receivers go to Tennessee to die. So I don't like that pick. Alex up next. Starting off with Josh Jacobs. Good receiver stack. Burrow, Connor. I like this team. This is a B+. For me, we'll get to the hate section here, but I can tell you that's Jacobs. I like the receiver stack. A good mix of guys with Burrow there. That James Conner's a sneaky pick in the 5th. He's like a top 10 running back that you somehow get this late, which is a good pick. You don't know his name, and he doesn't do a lot of big things, but he scores touchdowns somehow and puts up good fantasy points. Jamal Williams is interesting. Christian Kirk's interesting. What happens with Kirk in the Calvin Ridley situation? I don't know. It's interesting, though. Drafted a Patriots receiver in the 8th. Not sure why you do that, but this is a B+ for me. So love it. Love the James Conner thing. And probably the Deuce Vaughn pick. My hate here, Josh Jacobs in the 1st round. I know he was really good last year. They ran him into the ground. They gave him a 1-year extension, all that stuff. He got ran into the ground. And how old is he? Is 25. He's only 25. Okay. Maybe there's still some run there, but they ran him into the ground last year, which to me would say this year he's due to regress, either due to fatigue, injury, or just overall, the number of carries they give him. But maybe they keep running him into the ground. I don't know. We'll see. So that's my hate. I don't like that pick. But B+, this is a good team. Oh, next, bad dream team, Tony. Every time I turned around and looked at this team, I liked it. So looking through it again, we start off with the first quarterback off the board, which is not bad with Mahomes. Into Olave, really like that pick a lot. The Breece Hall thing's a risk, but receivers here, the starters are good. So looking down through the list here, I like this team a lot. I'd go A- on these guys here. So from a Lovett perspective, Olave in the 2nd is my thing here, and then Kincaid in the 8th. I really like those. So Olave in the 2nd is good value. He was good last year with whoever random people throwing him the ball. Andy Dalton, Jameis Winston. Now he's got Derek Carr, who's proven to be able to feed receivers the ball. So I think he's in store for a big year. And then I like that Kincaid kind of upside pick with the safety blanket of Higbee, even though I don't know about drafting all those tight ends. What do I hate? Probably drafted 3 tight ends in general. I just don't think that's... I think you could find better handcuffs and better situations to do that versus drafting 3 tight ends. And then the Breece Hall thing, as early as the 3rd, is scary. I know he's coming back and he's healthy, but there's going to be even more carry share with Dalvin Cook in the mix, so that's a little bit scary for me. So still, solid A-, I think, for that team. I like it a lot. The value at the top from that quarterback and receiver tandem with Olave and St. Brown and Mahomes is really good. Spooner up next here. Started off with Devontae Adams into Derrick Henry, DJ Moore, J.K. Dobbins. I'm a B-. B- here. I don't think I like this squad. A couple thoughts. Adams is getting older. He's up to 30 now. He's got a year or 2 left, but is he still that top-end production that we're hoping for? I don't know. Jimmy Garoppolo, is he going to be able to feed a receiver like this the ball, or is he looking for more of a slot-type separator guy? And Derrick Henry, I think he's up to 28 now. He's been, pushing through and carrying that team for a long time, but, he's going to break down at some point, and I think this might be the year. Watch, I'll probably be wrong, but it feels like a little bit of a lot of age risk there between those top 2 picks, and like to be a little younger. The DJ Moore thing's interesting though. New offense, they're going to feed him the ball, but really that was 3 of those top 4. I would say I'd have injury or age concerns. So I'm B- here. What do I love? KJ Osborne's good value in the 11th. So is Kendre Miller in the 12th, in my opinion. You get KJ, who might actually be the number 2 wide receiver for the Vikings. And if he is, there's going to be some, Adam Thielen type upside there. Maybe not the touchdowns, but the early career yards. And that's a good receiver who's probably more of a 5th or 6th round pick if that's the case. And then Kendre Miller, I've heard good things about if he can stay healthy and kind of take over some of that time when Kamara's gone and then carve out a role for himself there as well. I kind of talked about the hate a little bit, but the biggest thing for me would be Derrick Henry in the 2nd. I know the value is probably getting closer to where it should be with him not going in the 1st and now going in the 2nd, but the wheels are falling off at some point, and I think this is the year. But I'm probably wrong. I've been wrong before. We'll be wrong again. But that's my thoughts there, so B- for me. Final team here, and 23 minutes in, if you guys are still watching for this, yeah, good for you. Zeke's team here. So starting with Waddle into Josh Allen, McLaurin, Ayuk. So wide receiver stack, Kamara. Interesting. Interesting. This is a B. It's top heavy, right? You do pretty well with those first 3, 4, and you get into a lot, like everybody else's team. You get into that 6, 7, 8 round. There's just so much going, that needs to go right. And I think you have a backup running back in P. Ryan, Kamara. Sits a few games and he'll come back, but he's not a young dude anymore. He's not 23. I'm focused on age. I must be watching or reading too much about that, but NFL players are younger anymore, the guys that really produce, and they can produce later into their 20s, but once they, especially running backs, hit that 27, 28 range, they just seem to fall off. So maybe I read too many analytics and stat type things, but it's kind of my thoughts on that. So what's my love-hate thing for Zeke's team here? What do I like here? I like Hyatt in the 13th a lot, and I like Roschon Johnson in the 14th. I like the kind of handcuff long shots that he took there late. I'd say I love that Josh Allen in the 2nd, though. That's good value. It's right in the right spot. Josh Allen's going to be a threat to run it and throw it, and maybe the Bills aren't as good, which means they could be trailing, which means he puts up some more points. What's my hate here? Ooh, I don't really hate any of these things. I don't like drafting Adam Thielen. Yeah, that's it. The value's fine on Adam Thielen. I just think he's old and slow. And very touchdown dependent, and with a quarterback who's not prepared to be throwing touchdowns, in my opinion. So they had a connection in the preseason from Bryce Young to Adam Thielen for a touchdown, but outside of the red zone, Adam Thielen can't do much. The Vikings let him go for a reason, and he's north of 30, so I'm not a fan there. So that's my thoughts on a lot of these teams here. Overall, good draft, fun draft. This is a fun league. 14 teams, deep draft. We do 17 rounds. Takes a while, but you get down to it and, really have to do some digging and see what's out there. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this. If you watched it, if you didn't, okay, tell me what you think. I think really I gave some A-minuses out there. I can't even remember to who. I think I liked Montgomery's team. I liked Bart's bottom feeders. I liked Tony's team. Those are probably the three that I think I liked the most. Maybe I gave somebody else an A- in there. I can't remember. Maybe I like Cole's team too. I can't remember. But there's a few of them that I thought were pretty decent. But I don't know if any of that means anything going into the year or not. There'll be a lot of injuries, a lot of things to kind of sort through. So excited to get the year going, and we're less than a week away from the kickoff of the NFL. Again, sound off in the comments. I'm going to post this on YouTube, but sound off in the comments. Let me know what you think. If you hate the review, you like the review, you disagree, you agree, what you think. So here's to another year, and we'll talk to you guys all later. See ya.